Hi guys, Kyle here. Today, as always, I'm joined with Brandon and Jade on FPL Source. Let's get it, guys. So, today we're going to be doing a Game Week 3 review. Hope you guys can stay tuned until the end. Let's get it.
Right, perfect. Let's just jump into the first segment, news, views, and news. So today on news, we've got some price changes and rises. We've got Antonio, who went from 7.8 to 7.9. Torres is obviously going up with his good performance there for City. Ben Rama's also going up. Alonso went up, Lloris, and Gray from Everton, and also Bruno actually is one of the fallers along with Salah, De Bruyne, Mahrez, Werner, and Digne. In terms of transfers, obviously the big boy Ronaldo has come to Man United from Juventus. Zuma has been bought by West Ham from Chelsea. Daniel James has left in the light of Ronaldo joining Man United to Leeds. Emerson Royal has joined from Barcelona to Tottenham. We also have a couple other transfers going on out there. We've got Solomon Rondon, who's joined Everton. We've got Alex Kral, who's joined West Ham. We've got Nikola Vlasic, who's also joined West Ham. Willian has actually terminated his contract with Arsenal and joined Corinthians in a Brazilian team. Takahiro Tomiya, don't know how to say that, I'm sorry if I butchered that name, has joined Arsenal. And Lookman has also joined Leicester. And Lookman had a pretty good end of season was it last season with Fulham? In terms of other loans, we've got Saul Niguez, who's joined Chelsea from Atletico Madrid, and Kabak, who was actually playing for Liverpool last season, is now joined Norwich. And he's also a 4.5, so that might be interesting. In terms of player availabilities, we've got Wilson, who the last I checked was 75% chance of playing. I'm pretty sure he'll play considering it's international break. We've got Mendy, who's suspended. Don't really know the full news on that, but it's quite deep, I think. And James is suspended, obviously, because of his red card against Liverpool. Then we've got some extras over here. Antonio is only the third player in Premier League history to be directly involved in 7 goals in a side's opening 3 matches of a season. He's doing well. He's not only is he the top scorer for West Ham, but now he's also in the actual Premier League.
Who were the other two? Do you know?
No, I don't. I should have taken that picture. I didn't take that picture. International break causes doubt over players' availabilities for Game Week 4. As you can see in one of the pictures there, Emiliano Martinez shows he'll only be back after the 18th of September. And that goes same for Buendia.
Yeah.
And a couple others. So obviously we'll have to see how that goes in terms of the red listed places. And
Plus
then
we need to keep an eye on DCL because I know he's got a muscle injury as well. He's yellow flagged. So
yes,
a lot of people are.
He didn't join the England squad actually. Yeah, that's
so we need
true.
to keep an eye on him.
Although I don't know, I think with the international break, I think he should recover in time. I don't know how bad it could be, but you know, it didn't look too bad when we watched the game. In terms of views, what is the source? We got reasonable relish. So now I've done some editing here for the battle of the 7.5s to the 8.0s. I've taken some names off. We've got Antonio, who's got 4 goals and 4 assists. So clearly he's winning the straight. We've got Calvert-Lewin, DCL, who's got 3 goals, 0 assists. Ings, 2 goals, 1 assist. Wilson, 2 goals, 0 assist. And Bamford, 1 goal, 1 assist. Considering run of fixtures, Bamford looks very interesting. Ings has terrible run of fixtures, so I'd be very doubtful. Wilson still got reasonable fixtures. Calvert-Lewin's also still got good fixtures. And Antonio, to be honest, with West Ham right now, how they're playing, I think they can take out a lot of the top teams. They could potentially be a top 6 team this season. And then I did take off Jimenez, but Wolves have actually got a very good run of fixtures. So maybe, but they hasn't done anything yet.
And
so
their expected goals is some of the highest in the league. So they're creating so many chances, but I don't think they've scored. I think they've scored once, haven't they? No, they haven't scored.
I don't know. They haven't done too well. We know. I
mean, a lot of people are talking about getting Traore and Trincao and everything for this amazing run of fixtures, but until I see, a Wolves player actually score more than 1 goal in 3 games or whatever, I'm not even going to go near it.
But Jimenez was like that, where he just scored every second game, and it was only 1 goal. It was never 2 goals.
Yeah, but he was consistent, and I mean, from what we've seen so far this season, he has been the opposite of that. So we'll have to wait and see.
I think that fractured skull might have done something to his confidence a little bit, especially when you see where he stands. He's not too keen on the headers.
I wouldn't be either.
No, well, exactly. How do you come back and build the confidence for that? So I feel for him a little bit. In terms of fixtures to look out for, we've got Man City versus Leicester. Leicester haven't been too great with keeping clean sheets or just defending in general, so I think there's some goals to be looking there. Man United versus Newcastle, that could potentially be the return of the Ronaldo CR7, so that could be really exciting, and it's a home game, so see how that goes. Chelsea versus Aston Villa, that could be interesting as well. Aston Villa don't really have a great defense, and obviously Lukaku has joined Chelsea, so they've got a good attacking force. Liverpool versus Leeds. Well, Leeds are just renowned for being a high-scoring game. There's barely any clean sheets with their game. So Liverpool, Leeds should also be a high scorer. And then I threw this one in to be funny. We'll get into the U's later. But Norwich versus Arsenal. I think this could be Norwich's first win.
Love
Shame.
And in terms of differentials, we've got Torres. Obviously, he's been bought out by a lot of people. Gray from Everton. He's a really good one. He's only 5.6 now. He has gone up one. Fornals is a good competitor for the Benrahma saga. And Varane. He's obviously banged it for his first game. So might be a bit early to call that, but definitely something to look out for. In my picture there, you can just see I listed all the top achieving forwards there. We've obviously got Antonio leading that pack by almost double, essentially. Jesus just below him, and then Calvert-Lewin. Then in the U's, the source uncensored. So last and nil.
Once
Arsenal.
again.
Yeah, still 0 points, 0 goals. Oh my God. I feel for the Arsenal fans, to be honest. So Arsenal are still goalless after 3 games for the first time in 67 years.
Yep.
They had a 5-0 defeat to City. They are last on the Premier League table beneath Norwich. They play, and they, like I announced, they play each other in Game Week 4. So essentially, one of these teams are going to have points at the end of this Game
That's
Week
crazy.
4. And yeah, and apparently I was watching something else, and Arsenal have the highest expected goals against them, kind of thing, conceding. So
Wow.
they're not doing very well at all this.
They're a
this
former
season.
husk of their previous shape.
Not good at all. And then
Not good.
did Reece James cost Chelsea their victory over Liverpool at Anfield? Because it was 1-0 before he got that red card just before half-time. So do you think Chelsea could have beat those games? What are you guys' opinions on that?
I think so. I mean, they were playing really well. They played super well, even with the 10 men. It didn't even look like they were missing anyone.
Truth.
And I think with Reece James, I mean, it's one of their most valuable players with his form as well. So I think
Excellent passes.
if he played that whole game, I probably saw Chelsea taking that. I mean, it was
I
a
think
penalty.
Chelsea are definite contenders this season.
Yeah, that's definitely something to think about. So if they say overachieving at Anfield as well, nonetheless, against Liverpool, is Liverpool as great as what they expect it to be? It's also something to think about. Pogba on or off after his foul on Neves. Okay, this is obviously very controversial. He did touch him. Was it a red card?
I don't think so, but I'm probably biased, but I don't think so.
Yeah.
Especially with the new rules that have been implemented,
Exactly.
the refs have a tough job.
Yeah. It's now
So I
it's now on what they feel
technically,
in,
yes.
in a way.
Technically, yes, it was a red card.
So we'll see on that one. But I'm glad Man United got the win. I can't be too disappointed. And in terms of the picture, we've got there Tottenham leading the pack. 9 points, haven't lost the game. Yeah, surprisingly. Although they were above on top of the log last season, at somewhere around before mid-season. And then we've got our top 4, which is West Ham, Manchester United, and Chelsea. And then our relegation battle that's going on down there is Wolves, Norwich, and Arsenal.
Wow. It's crazy to actually look at the table, like the whole thing, you know. After 3 weeks, who'd have thought that this is how it's going to look?
Yeah, very interesting at the moment. All right, I think that's all from my side.
Cool.
I have a question for you guys. The gentleman you referred to earlier, Emerson Royal, if I'm not mistaken, that's his name. Have you guys seen him play?
No, I just know
No.
he came from Barca, so...
Yeah, no.
And I think he's there to compete with Tanguy.
Okay.
He's probably going to take the place from Tanganga. And then, the one thing I just wanted to mention on the fact that West Ham signed 2 attacking midfielders. Does that mean Benrahma is going to keep his place? He's probably going to see less minutes now. Same with Bowen for Fornals. Now there's like 5-6 players competing for 3 spots. So
That Vlasic
yeah,
and...
Kral.
Mm.
All right.
Interesting.
It'd be interesting.
Okay, I'm going to move over to the saucer-meter. We have got a realistic chili this time. Okay, so the first thing you'll notice in the Lord Source status, Ronaldo has been moved. He's arrived and he's gone straight to the top, as it should be. I mean, I
Slight
can't
bias
really...
maybe.
Slight, but I mean, if we're putting Salah there, Lukaku there, Ronaldo there, these are going to be our big hitters that we're going to be swapping to and captaining most games. So until I see something that proves otherwise, he should even have another tier above Lord Source, which he should sit in by himself. So I can't put him anywhere below Lord Source. This does, however, mean that Bruno has been demoted to Spicy Spice because he's probably not going to be on penalties anymore. I don't care what the internet says. Bruno is a good penalty taker, but if you try to tell Ronaldo no, I mean, come on. He takes them in Portugal as well, so I don't think it would be any different for Man United. He's probably going to get pushed a bit deeper. So yeah, I'm not sure how it's going to affect both Bruno and the other Man United assets.
Greenwood as well.
Worth,
how they're
yeah.
going to fit all these players in the team, especially when Rashford comes back.
So we need to keep a keen eye on that. Because, I mean, I'm going to go into a little segment over here, but basically I'm very worried for United with Ronaldo in it because we don't have any out-and-out wingers. Like, we have Greenwood, we have Rashford. These are people that want to be in front of the box. They want to take shots. Ronaldo is now going to be the one that's going to take the bulk of Man United's shots. We need now players who are going to just sit on the wing and cross amazing balls into Ronaldo. Now, how many players do we have in our team that can actually do that? Shaw is a good crosser. Shaw. Exactly. He's probably going to go up as a fantasy asset. So for the first time this season, I'm actually considering getting him in. And yeah, I think it's going to be very vital for Sancho to play every game because he's a good winger. He can actually cross a ball. But in terms of the people that we have playing on our wings at the moment, they don't really go out. Yeah, they don't really go to the outside and cross in. They go to the inside and shoot, you know. That's what they want to do. And I saw the stats were frightening last season. Juventus was first for crosses into the box and first for cross accuracy into the box. United, for the same stats, are 17th and 14th in the league. So we are literally some of the worst crossers in the whole league. And I'm not sure how what it's gonna mean for Ronaldo, but doesn't mean I'm not gonna get him in. Like, I'm just gonna. This game is about fun, and Ronaldo is the best player in the world, basically. So if you don't get him into your team, I feel like you're missing out on a once in a lifetime.
I'm not gonna. Well, especially he's at the end of his career, but I don't know, especially when the Champions League comes about, how often he'll be playing in the Premier League. I think that's where things are gonna get dicey.
I can't wait to see that. I have no idea how it's going to turn out. It could go complete shambles and he might not score or play for a few weeks, but it could go the other way. It could go he gets a hat-trick in his first game and everyone praises him like the Lord he is.
He's got a good history against
gobble up any and all crosses into the box.
Yeah,
that's for sure.
Also, another interesting point is that if these people like Rashford and Greenwood do take shots and these shots get blocked, Ronaldo might be there poaching in the perfect position every time to just hit them away. So it's going to be interesting to watch. Yeah. So to get back to the Saucer-meter, Shaw is there now, obviously, because I was saying he is probably going to be a better asset now. Bruno got demoted. I've put Gabby Jesus in there because he's been playing really well. He's the second highest forward scorer, and he's actually playing, I think he's played every game so far. And he's playing as a right winger, I think, Kyle, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Pep's using him in that right side pocket, but he does make inward runs.
Yeah, so he's looking really good. Torres as well, I've put him there after his 18-pointer. He's also looking like an assured starter until next week when he gets benched. But and then to join these on the Spicy Spice, we've got Son, who's still looking like a good option. He's so lucky. He's so lucky, but
Ronaldo.
Yeah, I mean, the 3 goals that Tottenham have scored have been a penalty, a jammy free kick that went straight in, and then another Son goal, I think. So I am keeping him at Spicy Spice, but I don't think he's going to be there for very long. He's either going to move up or move down, I think. But we'll see.
Yeah, to be honest, I think in terms of Spurs, they don't seem as attacking as they have been in the past. But in terms of defense, they've got 3 clean sheets. So
exactly, yeah. Okay, so that brings us to the mild, where Lloris is there because he's the only keeper with 3 clean sheets. Then you might have a case for another Spurs defender being in there, but I was just waiting to see. I mean, Dyer looks good. He's on free kicks sometimes, and he's quite cheap. We're gonna see now this new player.
Regulon got the 9 points, even though Son scored.
He took a shot from distance that almost went in. So he, if anyone, is probably who I would go for if I have the funds. But there are a lot of cheaper options there, like Dyer, and we'll see about Tanganga. And then joining him in the mild, we've got Grealish, who is actually really, I think he's second or third for midfielders in the ICT index, so the Influence, Creativity and Threat index. So that's surprising, seeing as his only goal was a mistake. And
it was like a knee poke.
Yeah, he's getting into the good positions though. That's the thing. He's creating and he's getting into good positions. So I think if he can keep starting, I think he will turn into a really good asset.
Just to throw this tidbit in, he did look really good for England. I mean, England is a different team to City, but he looked really good.
I mean, he's a stunning player. He got bought for how much? Like 80 million or whatever, for 100 million for a reason, you know. So and then joining him in mild, we've got Ings, who hasn't not returned yet. So I think he deserves a spot here. He's been playing. I mean, he did a worldie and he did a lucky assist, but he has been
Fixtures.
Yeah, he's been getting returns every game. So I feel like he is a good option. Sarr, I've put him there. He's got demoted from last week because he is Watford's main asset, and everything that they are going to do is going to go through him. But the question is, how much are they going to do? And then I've put Rafinha as well. He's looked a bit disappointing. He's come close though in a few games that he hasn't returned in. And I think now after this game week, I think from game week 5 to 10 or something, they have a really, really good fixture run. So someone to...
And Dan James has joined Leeds might help Rafinha somewhat. Who knows?
Yeah, exactly.
You're right.
And then I've put Gray and Decore in there from Everton as well, because they are... I mean, Gray is surprising me. I'm not sure how many returns he can keep getting, but if it's sustainable, I think
that goal that he did get, he did a full 20-yard run into the box and scored it.
No, he's a really good player. I remember him even when he played for Leicester, and he came on for versus Man United, and we were winning 4-0, and he took away our clean sheet with a worldie postage stamp. And since then I've rated him, and I know he's a good player. So it's actually really cool to see him get some proper minutes in Everton, and getting returns now as well.
And just in terms of that Decore, I'm actually surprised at how far up the pitch he gets sometimes, to be honest.
Yeah.
He actually gets right up into the box.
Yeah. He's also a good attacker. They're the same price, so two Everton options to keep an eye on if you're not keen or don't have space to go for DCL. All right. Kyle, on to you with the captaincy table.
All right, guys. I only basically had one choice this week, and that was to bring Cristiano Ronaldo in for the captaincy options. I did consider a few other players, but Cristiano is definitely the one that we have to be focusing on. He might even be in next week, so we don't know. We'll see. Dunked double do-gooders, guys. I've been trying to keep those Ds for the double points. Let's go. Game week 4. Crystal Palace versus Spurs. I picked Kane or Son as potential captaincy options. Not 100% sure on that, but I put them there. Anyway. I think if you have Kane in your team, you don't have Lukaku or Cristiano, so that's probably bad. United
at the same time, they are the one or the other is probably going to score, and Crystal Palace don't have a good defense, so it's still worth a shot.
They're not too bad, honestly. Yeah. I mean, before they even got Vieira, who has tightened them up a little. Well, maybe not, but I mean, how much have they conceded this season? I think 3,
they only got their
goals.
First goal recently, last week.
I mean, that means nothing for the opposite team's attackers.
True, for defense.
But Crystal Palace and Spurs have had some pretty close games in the past. Last year, I think Crystal Palace did the double over them, so they are a bit of a bogey team. So just keep an eye on that. There's been some upsets in the past with these two teams, so I'm not sold on non-outputting Tottenham attack just yet.
Okay, good option, good idea. United versus Newcastle United, guys. Like Brandon said, Bruno's just dropped Bruno. So I had to put CR7 there. I'm calling him CR7. he's the captaincy option from now on. I'm sorry, it's just it's the way it has to be. I'm excited to see how they link up in midfield.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think Bruno's going to suddenly become a shit option, but I do think he's going to lose a lot of free kicks, penalties, and also dropped a bit deeper.
If you consider that a lot of his points last season were penalties, I mean, yeah. He's not taking them. Is he really going to score as many open play goals?
I mean, he scored 3 open play goals in the first game, which just proves to you how good he can be, but it's annoying that he doesn't do that every game.
Exactly.
I think he gets quite emotional on the pitch as well, so that kind of ruins his.
Well, against Wolves, he did do a pretty much the similar open play move that he did against Leeds for one of the goals, where it was chipped over the top and ran onto it, but that was a little bit offside, so it was taken back.
All right.
Yeah. All right. Chelsea versus Aston Villa. You guys have already mentioned this fixture of Chelsea doing quite well against them. I agree. I think Lukaku's their main man in terms of goals, and he's going to get a lot of goals.
Without Martinez as well.
Yeah, without Martinez, yes.
That's true, hey?
Right. Leeds versus Liverpool. I've been mentioning this fixture for weeks now. I've been keen on this fixture. I think I'm going to put the armband on Salah even. I think I've made my mind for this. I think it's going to be a goal fest. I'm going to enjoy watching the game and seeing if I'm right or wrong.
Yeah, I don't expect a 0-0 at all. Nah. I don't expect a clean sheet, to be honest.
Nah.
Yeah, true. And then the last fixture for game week 4 that I thought you could put the armband on is Everton versus Burnley. I don't know how Burnley are still in the Premier League. Sean Dyche is a miracle worker, honestly.
He is.
So DCL if he plays, because he's got that muscle injury.
But if he does play, I do reckon DCL would put a goal in there. And also, it's a good thing knowing that he seems to be set by Rafa to be on pens.
Yeah,
I think Rafa's made his choice there.
Sorry, Richarlison.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, Richarlison looked a bit hacked, but unfortunately, that's how that cookie crumbled.
Richarlison needs a compass sometimes. He doesn't know where that ball's going.
He's got that South American temper, you could say. I don't know. He's got some flair.
He reminds me of a bit of a wild horse, like untamed, just running up the pitch and missing.
You could always see his emotions on his face. Like he either has like a sort of a semi-smile or it's like a frown.
Yeah,
he's never like
he is a bit of a brat.
All right, guys, I'm gonna skim through the next two game weeks. I just thought that these might be potential captaincy options going forward. This is always subject to change.
True, but it also helps you build a team just in case, big top players to look forward to.
Yeah, having some kind of plan in place is always nice. So City versus Southampton. I think Southampton are going to get crushed, truth be told. Kevin De Bruyne, if he's back, I hope he's back. And Jack Grealish. Also, I wanted to put Torres in there.
He's worth it.
Torres is also... Ferran is probably going to be up front. He might get more game time. Also, game week 5, guys, very tough fixtures. Very tough fixtures. Put Cristiano against West Ham. I'm not too sure about that anymore, but I think he should be there. He should be there
that should
regardless.
Be a tough game,
I mean, West Ham.
To be honest, I think.
Go for it.
Yeah, you can go.
I think. Okay, don't worry, guys. We are amateurs.
Yeah, we just
I was just going to say that West Ham have not kept a clean sheet yet. So if there's going to be goals, it might very well be.
I think we want to say this is going to be similar to the Leeds Liverpool. I don't expect a clean sheet there, even from United's perspective, to be honest, with Antonio's form.
So it'll be Antonio versus Cristiano.
Yeah. Something like that.
Awesome. And then Arsenal versus Spurs, guys. Like we mentioned before, Arsenal aren't even on the score sheet yet. They are in shambles. Mikel Arteta is not having a good time at the moment. Shame. He's probably one of the most stressed out people in Europe.
Yeah. I think he's the manager that's closest to being fired this season already, to be honest. And that's unfortunate. I don't like talking about that part of it, but the game's all a part of this. This is the business.
Very true. So Kane or Son, guys, if you can afford Kane, I think he's probably going to be one of the top goal scorers of the season, if not the top goal scorer.
Golden boot for sure, close to.
Yeah. So think about that. That's something to definitely think about. Game week 6, guys. Everton versus Norwich. DCL, if he's playing, I think that's a good fixture for Everton. They play at home, and then Brentford versus Liverpool. I don't see Brentford doing anything much against Liverpool. I hope I'm wrong. I
I
hope
mean,
Liverpool lose.
Brentford is like last year's Leeds, basically, or this year's Leeds, because they're surprising me with their defense. I thought they were going to be more attacking and less defending. But yeah, I
True.
feel like if the Leeds match versus Liverpool is going to be a goal fest, I think maybe this might be as well.
True.
With
Also,
Tony, they can
also
always
true.
score, but I mean, they do have a
Exactly. And he
strong
got off the
defense.
mark now. He's got his
Yeah.
first goal as well.
So yeah, I
So
have
yeah, I
no
want to
idea.
say game week 5 and game week 6 are actually filled with really tough fixtures, guys. I think, yeah, I don't know in terms of from an FPL standpoint what that means for us, but I don't think it's going
Well,
to be
I
very
think
profitable.
I think potentially. I think game week 5 and 6 is where you can get some lift in your mini leagues if you captain the right captains type of thing.
Yeah, it's going to be very spread out. There's not going to be one like main captain, like Salah was for the first 2 game weeks or whatever. I think it's going to be very spread out, which means you might have a better time going for a differential, than sticking with one of the big boys.
Exactly.
And that's what brings us to differential captaincy options. So I picked Aubameyang versus Norwich. Maybe they pick their socks up. Maybe Aubameyang can
I
do
mean,
something.
truth be told, they should, but
You sound like
yeah.
an Arsenal
I don't know.
supporter.
I'm pulling a funny face because I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know where we lie. I mean, Arsenal's a big club just over the years, but it's just shocking to see where they are right now. I don't know.
Horrible.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Horrible. Game week 5. This is a saucy one, guys. Antonio versus United.
So it's a
Ooh.
CR7 or Antonio.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So it's going to be a battle between those two. I think it's going to be cool, interesting to watch. And then game week 6, I chose Saar versus Newcastle.
Not a bad one.
We were talking about Saar being the main man for Watford. He has been targeted in these last 3 weeks. Well, the previous 2 game weeks, he's been heavily targeted on the pitch. So I don't know how many FPL returns are going to come out of him. Yeah. And then this week's player focus, guys. Cristiano Ronaldo back in the Premier League. That's the one. That's the one. I've got some stats for you guys and some information. Didn't go too in depth. I just gave it some sprinkles, but it might be interesting. So Cristiano Ronaldo has played Newcastle United 10 times in his career. With him in the team, they've won 9. And they've drawn once. He scored 5 goals and gotten 3 assists in those. Bear in mind, he has changed as a player. So back in the day, he was very dynamic, fluid, strong on the counter
On the
attack.
wing as well.
Yeah, he could score from multiple positions, whereas nowadays, rather, he's more of a static,
Gotcha.
less mobile player. So the team can kind of pivot around him if they're doing an attacking press, for instance. That's what brings me back to Cristiano Ronaldo's defensive style, which has kind of dwindled in the past couple of seasons. He only averages 6.7 presses per 90 minutes, which isn't a lot. So United are going to have to pick up on that defensive responsibility.
Yeah. That's actually a very, very good tidbit. I mean, are we going to be doing the, I forget what they call it now, but when we press high up the pitch, as soon as it's in their defensive half, are we going to press as high? Because if he's not that style of player, what are we going to be doing? Sitting back, waiting for them to come more, or what?
Well, I mean, I don't really expect
exactly.
for Ronaldo to be given a lot of defensive responsibility. Like most number 9s don't really have defensive responsibility, and I don't think.
But in our past with Greenwood, say, playing there, or even Cavani was still pressing quite a bit, and so was Greenwood. So it does change a bit of our dynamics around.
Yeah, it's going to change a lot. I mean, with the whole crosses thing that I mentioned earlier, our whole team style is going to change, because I saw a Juventus supporter say that the best matches that he saw last year with Ronaldo in their team, or when Ronaldo was in their team, was when Ronaldo wasn't playing, because they looked like a more mobile and fluid like squad. So they change. He literally just him changes the whole setup of the team and the play style. So it's we're gonna have to wait and see if we can adapt to it and benefit thrive off this new focal point that we have.
Good point. So you don't think he's going to come in the team and smash it immediately?
I don't know.
Considering you're buying him and might put him as a captain for that game week.
Exactly. I'm gonna take the chance. I'm gonna take the chance, especially after I watched that Portugal Ireland match last night.
Yeah. 2 goals.
I lost hope. I was like, okay, after he had the penalty saved by Woodman, who's the keeper that he's playing in Newcastle next week in game week 4, which is levels on levels. I was like, okay, no, wait, maybe I'm overthinking this too much. Maybe I don't need Ronaldo right now. And then that feeling got more and more towards the end of the game until 90 minutes when he popped one in by jumping 7 feet. And then he popped another one in 5 minutes later by jumping 8 feet. So I don't know, I am back to being super confused and leaning more towards just getting him in, captaining him. And if it doesn't work, I tried.
But he did have his penalty saved, so...
I know, it's levels. It's super levels. But now that's going to make me think he's going to come back with a vengeance and be like, screw this keeper. I showed him I could score against him twice. And if he does get a penalty, he's going to want to take it so that he can prove to himself and the rest of the world that he's not going to miss. So, yeah.
He is one of the greatest goal scorers of all time, if not the greatest.
Well, exactly.
So you guys can expect goals for your team.
Exactly. I mean, he scored, as you've said, he scored 20 goals or more since 2009. So do you think he's going to get less than 20 goals this season? Probably not.
Nope.
And that's, more than one every 2 games. So that's good enough for me. That's consistency at its finest. So I'm definitely going to... And also sorry to carry on this, but another thing that I saw...
Kelly, you're excited, hey, Brandon?
I'm excited, dude. It's Ronaldo. I wasn't even into soccer when he was in United the first time, I missed his whole first reign at United.
Definitely didn't watch as much as I could have.
Yeah, exactly. But a very interesting point that I saw was that Ronaldo's hauls, so where he scored double digits, basically. Every double-digit return he got last season in the Serie A, in terms of fantasy points, his average position of opposition that he played when he got his hauls, so basically, how good was the team that he hauled against, was something like 17th in the league on average, or 14th. So basically, he is someone who is not a big game player. He scores against the little teams. He actually dominates versus the smaller teams. So this helps because you can target the fixtures now with like confidence that he will probably score in the easier games and maybe not score in the harder games. So that helps me, because the worst thing is selling him to go to Lukaku for a good fixture run, then Ronaldo has a horrible run, and then Ronaldo scores hat-trick in each of the games, So we don't want that. We want to avoid that, and those stats make it better for me, because then I can focus, okay, when we are playing Newcastle, I'm going to get him in, I'm going to captain him. When we are playing City, I'm going to change to Lukaku or whatever. So
my only concern is just the rotation. I don't see Ronaldo playing as many games with Champions League going on.
He will.
So I don't even know if they would play him in the smaller games. They might go for more of a Greenwood attack in the smaller games. In the big games, expect Ronaldo to pull through for City or Liverpool or whatever.
It's a very, very
some debate.
Interesting debate. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm personally on he'll play the little teams and get all those.
Tell me, what's going to happen to Cavani now? Where is he just going to eat bench for the season?
Dude, he might play in Europe, to be honest.
Okay.
I don't know. I
think that's what Ronaldo's there for, to be honest.
I cannot confirm nor deny these allegations.
Yeah, this is going to be... It's just whack. Are we going to play with 2 strikers? Imagine Cavani and Ronaldo playing in the same team. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen.
It's not gonna happen.
I don't know. It will look weird.
I don't know. I can't wait to see, but I do not know.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Last season in the Serie A, Cristiano scored 31 goals. Scored 4 in the Champions League. He has an expected goal per season, an XG of 28.34. That is massive. That's crazy.
It is very high.
I'm scared. Like, genuinely scared.
That is very, very high.
And an interesting little tidbit is that he only, for the past 3 seasons, he's only scored 1 goal outside of the box from open play. his whole shot map is within the box, in very close quarters, hyper efficient finisher of the ball.
He knows
So
what he
he's
is now,
going-
you know.
Yeah,
That's
that's
the player who's
his
evolved
play
and
style.
towards the end. He can't expect miracles, but he knows he can finish. So he'll just be playing between the posts and pretty much inside on top of the keeper at all times.
He can score with both feet, his head, his hip. He can score with his butt cheek. You don't know. He can score with every body part.
Yeah,
basically.
dude. I saw something also which is crazy, is that Ronaldo had something like 160 shots in one season last season, compared to the next highest in our league, which is Kane with 110. So that is a huge, huge gap. But his conversion rate is not that good. It's on par with like Bamford, Mane type vibes with conversion rates. So around 27% of his shots actually go in, and around 50 of that 160 shots that he took got blocked. So of those huge sample of shots, a lot of them are just him, just whacking it.
Right.
He's basically just, he takes so many shots. As soon as he can, he'll shoot. So whether they in good positions or not, he's going to shoot. So that's why there's like, there's a huge chance that some of those are going to go in. If he keeps taking 20 shots a game, that's crazy.
Just to be the other chip on the shoulder again with this debate, that also might just ruin his bonus points expectancies.
Very true.
So he might not be the one getting 3 points, even though he scored.
Actually,
similar to
very true.
But we must remember that this is the Premier League. It's not Serie A. He's playing
Also
in the best league in the world
Yeah.
against the best players or some
Our
of the best players in the
14th,
world.
17th positions would probably still be Serie A's. Okay, I don't want to be rude and say 10th positions, but something like that. It's a very competitive league.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it for me from today, guys. Cristiano Ronaldo, if he's not in your team, think about it. Think about getting him in your team ASAP. Because he will score.
10% already selected teams.
Yeah, he's gone up.
Yeah.
Yes.
He will
I'm not
score
gonna lie, I
a
haven't
crap
bought
ton of
him.
goals.
And I don't know when I'll be able to fit him in. So the price rising potentially is quite frightening.
He's locked though. He can't go.
But I am not running into this head first like some people, Brandon.
But he's
Yeah,
locked.
I'm in the same boat. I'm going to take my time, see what happens.
I mean, let's see, because it's cool if we're going to take different approaches. We'll see which one
Yeah.
actually works out. I'm going for super hyper aggressive, which is, I don't know how it's going to turn out, but let's go. Speaking of which, we're going to just go through our team results from the previous week. We're going to save all the previews and my wild card, which I have activated. We're going to do that next week. So yeah, we're just going to go through how we did last week, starting with my team. I think I got 63 points, which was a red arrow for me, unfortunately. Went from 600th to 6,000th, so it could have been worse. But my transfers were Son in and Duffy in for Trent and Barnes, and it helped. Barnes and Trent didn't return, even though Trent got 2 bonus points. Getting Son in and captaining him, got me a 5 or so net points. So could have been worse. None of my defenders did anything, so I think that was why my rank dropped a bit. The fact that I didn't have Shaw or Diaz, those reliable guys, I think the cheapness of my defense really showed here. But it was for only 1 week because I knew I was going to wildcard this week, so don't comment too much about that. And then Greenwood getting another goal, Ings getting another return, Antonio getting another haul, Salah getting a penalty. So nothing too spectacular, but good captaincy choices really made the difference this week. I think if you didn't captain Antonio or Son, then you saw quite a few points being missed out on there. Some people don't even have Antonio or Son, but
me at the time.
All right, and that's it for my team. I will show you my wildcard team next week, so stay tuned for that. Jadels?
Right, so I did relatively well this week considering I didn't have Son or Antonio.
Very true.
But I think it was my defense that racked up their points. I got 72 this week.
Jeez.
Sanchez got me a lousy 2, which reasonable. He's a 4.5 keeper. I don't really expect much more. Any clean sheet I do ever get from him will just be the bonus cherry on top kind of thing. Shaw got me a nice clean sheet. Thank you, Man United. Regulon with the 3-pointer from the Son goal. So I'll take that any day of my life. And I just transferred him in as well. So what a good punt.
Nice.
Inya with 6 as well. Okay, I captain Greenwood. I wish I captained Salah, but I captained Greenwood. So I got 16 points there. Not too bad. Grealish got a nice 6-pointer there. Salah with 10. Fernandez, 2 points. And for a 12 points to be getting another 2 points, I'm a bit concerned, but we'll get past that. Saar with another 2 as well. Don't know if he's going to be in my squad for too much longer. Ings got something and a yellow card, so not too bad. But considering his fixtures, he's not there. I will show you my team. I have already done my transfers, 2 of them, to let you guys know. And Wilson, look at him go, 9-pointer.
Yeah, these forwards are really annoying me because, like, you think you've got the right ones, but then they all return, and then you're like, okay, I guess nobody really made any points there.
True. Although the Antonio lead to Wilson, well, I think, what was it, like 3 points, 2 points on top? Antonio got 11. So captaining Antonio got you 22. And looking at my 16 for Greenwood and my highest return there for Salah would have been 20. Antonio still would have outdone me by 2 points if he was a captain.
Yeah.
It's a good
That's
job.
my team there.
And yeah,
Good
you went
job.
from what to what? You're 900k now. You got a green arrow from?
Where was I? 1.4 mil, somewhere there.
Okay, cool. Well done. Getting into top million. It's a good start again. Okay, Kyle.
In the thousands. There we go.
We
You're
are
on your way.
moving
You're on
to
your way.
Your team.
I did, I want to say, quite averagely this week. I captained all the wrong. I captained Jack Grealish, who only scored an assist. That was his return for the week. I had the reliable defense that Brandon was mentioning earlier, Shaw and Diaz. I've also got Soufal, who didn't return this week, but I'm sure he's going to get some assists throughout the season. West Ham haven't kept the clean sheet yet. That's annoying. That's very annoying. And I've still got Alexander-Arnold in my team. I don't think I'm going to sell him at any point because then I just won't be able to get him back in.
Yeah.
So I'm going to hang on to him and keep him. I had Mo Salah, who returned, Jack Grealish, like I mentioned earlier, and Mason Greenwood. Jade captained Mason Greenwood, and I was also about to captain Greenwood. Unfortunately, I did not. And then Tony finally returned. He finally scored a goal.
That must feel good.
It felt good. It felt good. I'm not gonna spoil anything or any of my transfers, but it felt good to get one return from Tony. And yeah, average week.
Your Reece James cost you there on your Lukaku.
Yeah, unfortunate. Lukaku didn't return, but that's okay. He will return throughout
The hardest
season,
fixture is basically out of the way now. So
True.
Yeah.
Although, looking at your team now, I'm guessing, you're going to have to take either a hit or wild card there with Emi Martinez.
So I had 2 transfers because I rolled a transfer last week.
Oh, do you have to? Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so definitely 2 transfers have been made or will be made.
nice. Okay, and then we're gonna probably be releasing our preview for game week 4 sometime next week around Wednesday. So keep an eye out for that. And if you want to see my wild card as well as everybody, as well as these guys' transfers, keep it
For
coming.
them. Yeah, and we'll obviously talk about injuries and so on. And also try and follow us on our social medias, Twitter,
please.
Facebook.
FPL Source, Twitter, Facebook, Insta, I think. And YouTube, of course. But you're probably already here.
Wow.
All right, that's a cheers from me.
Bye, guys.
Yeah, cheers, guys. Have a lovely one.
Stay saucy.